to one of our top stories tonight, the unveiling of the vice presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress today here in the nation's capital. And for more on that story, we are joined by the National Organizing Secretary of the governing All Progressives Congress. He is Sulaiman Argungu. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Good to have you.
I mean, this was just ceremonial. The deed had been done, INEC had closed portal, but now that we are here, the controversies and the debate refuse to go away. Your presidential candidate today in his speech said to forge ahead as a nation towards development and prosperity, we must instead break the shackles of old thinking. That's a beautiful thing to say, old thinking. However, when you were to balance out, you had a southern presidential candidate and a northern vice presidential candidate. So the old thinking of rotation and zoning still remains. So have you really done away with the old thinking in your decision?
Well, thank you for this question. And we have not done with that. But all we're saying is we want to balance the equation. And there is no law that has said that it has to be, if the North has completed their tenure, it has to go to the South. But it's a gentleman's thinking and believing as one Nigerian, as Democrats, that we just felt it is necessary that we have to balance it. Nigeria is for all of us, and we have to ensure that the rotation of the presidency goes from north to south and south to north, as far as APC is concerned and the leadership of the party. So we deem it fit, especially when our leaders, the progressive governors of the APC, took the decision unanimously that that should go back, the leadership after Muhammad Buhari has finished his tenure. The next president on the platform of the APC should come from the southern part of Nigeria. And we as members of the NWC and leaders of the party at national level deem it fit to support what they have done so that Nigeria will continue to be one and people will continue to have trust in the APC.
Right, and that balancing is exactly what Nigerians expected in picking a running mate, especially in the case of the governing APC, with Tinubu being Muslim and he's picked a Muslim running mate. As much as we really don't want to, continue to harp on this same faith ticket, it refuses to go away, just like Adiswa said. But leadership is about not leaving anyone behind, giving everyone that sense of belonging, sense of unity. Has the opportunity not been missed with this decision to insist on the same faith ticket?
You see, it all depends on the perception of the leadership. And others have said it, and I will say it again, that all those that are canvassing or are saying that there should be a non-Muslim ticket are only saying it for their own selfish end, as I believe. Because let me ask a question to all Nigerians. Since independence, has there any leader, particularly a Hausa Fulani leader who was a Muslim, has he ever combated anybody or any group in this country while he was the leader or he's a leader of this country? Muhammadu Buhari is about 7 years old on the throne, and the president under the platform of the APC. Has he combated anybody to become a Muslim? So these are just thinking of people who are trying to distract the mission of the APC. And I believe so many of them that are clamoring for this are being paid by our opponent or other agents. Let me give you an example that...
I mean, you have members of the APC themselves, both Muslims and Christians, who are resigning, who are leaving the party because they're not satisfied with this.
No,
what does this really have to do with the opposition
up to
party?
now, we have never seen any leader of the APC from any part of the country, be it from the youth or from any of the group, that has come to the National Secretariat to say he's tendering his resignation or appointment he's holding, or his card that he's a member of the APC, that he is withdrawing or he's leaving the party because there is a Muslim ticket. all we want Nigerians to understand or to believe in is the capacity of the presidential candidate and his running mate. Just in the afternoon during the unveiling of the vice president, he have said it. And you can see there are Christian clerics who have come far and wide from the other part of the country to join us in celebrating the vice president. And let me just give you an example. My orderly, when I was a deputy governor between 1999 2007, and some other aides of mine are Christians. And right now, my orderly is a Christian. But on Sunday, I don't even look for him. No matter wherever I'm going, I will give him the freedom to go and do his religion. Yeah. And I have never preached to him to say, let him come and join me, even though he see me praying. And on Fridays in particular, he followed me to the mosque to do the Friday prayers. But at the same time, I have never denied him any right of his religion. And more importantly, what we want people to understand is that the Islamic religion has taught us that there is no compulsion in religion. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Argungu, you've said a lot, and it is true that the president has never forced or converted anybody. However, some will argue that your party, the APC, and we've heard this in the past, I'm sure you've heard it, that their plans to Islamize Nigeria, and they cite examples that the Senate president is a Muslim, the Speaker of the House of Representatives is a Muslim, your national chairman is a Muslim, your presidential candidate is a Muslim, the vice presidential candidate is a Muslim, but that's their argument out there. Let me ask you, because again, what your party seems to have done is to pick victory over unity, so as some would say. And your presidential candidate today also made that known in his speech today to say victory is important. But tell us, how exactly would this victory play out? Kashim Shettima is from the Northeast. We have an Atiku Abubakar, who is the presidential candidate of the PDP, who's also from the Northeast. How do you plan this your victory? Can you share with us?
Yes, thank you. Our intention and our vision toward that victory is the fact that Kashim Shettima, who has served as an 8-year governor of Borno State and is now serving his 8-year term in the National Assembly as a senator, has performed credibly well, and that can be justified because when he was the governor of Borno State, he have met with so many challenges of the Boko Haram of that time. But as God will want it, he have done the very best he can do to ensure that he have carried everybody along and have provided soccer and so many things to his people during his tenure. And the people of the Southeast in particular, Northeast in particular, can testify to what he has done. And you see, people can judge from what the antecedent of what you have done in the previous position you have held, either a governor or whatever you have held. But if you cannot compare him with Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar was a vice president. You cannot compare what he did as a vice president to what the Governor Shettima have done in his 8 years as a governor. They cannot be comparable. So even
the issue is not comparing necessarily between Shettima's performance as governor and Atiku's performance as VP. The question is the chances of Shettima coming from the Northeast and Atiku Abubakar also. He's a presidential candidate.
I'm getting to that.
Right, great.
Because the antecedent of what he have done, the success he have recorded during his 8-year term as a governor of Borno State, can be justified, and people from the Northeast, particularly in Adamawa State, who are neighbors to Borno State, can also testify the kind of person he is. And I want to assure you and tell you that as far as our APC is concerned, even in Adamawa State, the chances of PDP winning election is very remote, because we have so many people who are the flag bearer of our party and who are loved by the party. So we're adding that to the credibility of the vice presidential running mate, in addition to other things that will bring victory to the party.
How does the Shettima team feel about concerns or insinuations let me use that word, that Kashim Shettima may have some kind of links or tolerance for terrorists not only in the Northeast, but across the country. What exactly is your response to that? And on the issue of security, the economy is in dire straits. There's corruption, still on the prowl in Nigeria. Exactly what will be the campaign theme? Exactly what will Tinubu Shettima be campaigning on against the backdrop of the situation in the country now?
Okay. You see, President Muhammad, they want to add, start on what the achievement made by President Muhammad Buhari, so that they can add to what he have done, and considering into the fact that the leadership of Muhammad Buhari under the APC have done very well, and taking into cognizance of Asuwaju being a governor for 8 years and Shettima being a governor of 8 years, who are also cognizant of what is happening at the grassroots, particularly on the economy, because Tinubu, when he was a governor in Lagos State, he was denied some other rights, even the contribution that every state is supposed to enjoy from the federal government. He was denied that, but he was able to manage the state even without that money from the resources, trying to create other avenues so that more money can come into the corporate of the state, and he was able to achieve more without that money. And when we come back to the running mate, when there was this Boko Haram persistently during his tenure, he was able to manage the two with the little resources and all that is happening during that period, to ensure that he managed the two, and he was victorious and very successful. That if you go to Borno State, you can see vividly what he has done to his people. That,
yes, but does he have links with Boko Haram?
He doesn't have a link with Boko Haram. No complete Muslim should be a Muslim if he wants to see others kill each other. You cannot be a complete Muslim when you want to kill each other, or you won't kill any other person.
And just before you go, how are you mending fences? How are you reaching out to aggrieved sections of the society, such as the Christian society, who has raised concerns about your ticket?
Yeah, you see, just recently before this event of today, we have met our zonal vice chairman and other leaders in all the 6 geopolitical zones, and indeed, all of us from the National Working Committee have been working close-wise in our respective zones, meeting people and leaders and major stakeholders in all the states within the zone, all with a view to see how we can console with them and bring peace to the party.
Great. Abubakar Argungu, thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight.